Hello and welcome to my new video. If you are a beginner graphic designer or just want to learn graphic design, on this video I will show you 10 easy tips I used myself so you can apply it to make your design look better and more professional overall. So let's start with the video. The first tip is to apply white space into your design projects. A common mistake made by beginner graphic designers is to ignoring white space and not giving design elements in your composition enough room to breathe, making your design look cluttered and unprofessional. By applying white space and give enough room to each element of your design to breathe, you can make your design look cleaner and more professional just by moving the elements and adjusting the size of them. Also, I have a post talking about white space, so if you want to master it, it will be on the description. Another mistake made by beginner designers is to rush the design process, directly go into Photoshop or Illustrator and start creating the design without any clear idea of what they want, how they want the design to look, and what images they will use. And to avoid it, I recommend you to create a mood board before starting any project where you can collect images as a graphic design inspiration, what typography you want, what images, and overall different ideas you want to convey in your design. This way, when you start your project and open Photoshop or Illustrator, you already have an idea of what you want. Next one is also a common mistake made by beginner designers, which is not applying visual hierarchy. This one is also very related with white space, as visual hierarchy is the principle of arranging elements to show their order of importance in your design. Having this clear, when you are designing, you need to think what is the first element you want the viewer to see, and in general the most important one, and then apply what is called visual hierarchy. So for example, if you have a poster with an image, a title, and a body text, you can make the title bigger than the body text and arrange the elements. That way you can make the first element the viewer will see, followed by the image, and finishing with the text. By applying this principle, you will make your design feel more natural and professional by giving the viewer the tools to navigate through it without losing their attention. Next one, usually beginner graphic designers tend to use the most amount of fonts available, so maybe they can use one font for the title, one for the subheading, another one for the body text, and another one for extra elements of the design. Overall, this will make the design look chaotic, cluttered, and in general unprofessional. To avoid it, it's very easy. You can use one font family for the whole design and play with the weight of the font. So for example, you can make the title in black, subheading in bold, and the body text in regular. This way the design will look more cohesive, cleaner, and in general more professional. Also, you can still play with different fonts by pairing them correctly. As a recommendation, only stick with 2 fonts as maximum to avoid a chaotic look. Also in the description will be a guide to how to pair fonts correctly. Another mistake made by beginner and not so beginner designers is to stick to a project even if you are feeling the final result is not what you are looking for or you don't have any ideas. This is very common and everybody has what is called creative block. Especially in graphic design, when it's a profession really based on creativity, it's really frustrating when that day happens to you is to take a break and continue with the design another day. Because if you're having a creative block, it's very common that it will last the whole day or it will not disappear if you are in front of the computer trying to design something. And this will only aggravate that creative block because you will be more frustrating because you don't have any ideas. So to avoid that, the best thing is to go for a walk, try a different thing, or go to a museum, watch a movie, listen to some music, or have some amusement to refresh your mind and continue the next day. Another great tip to make your designs look more professional is to avoid sticking to one design style only, because in the long way it will make your designs look similar each one to another. Also, in the creativity part, it will make you more bored about graphic design if every design you are making is looking like the previous one. So to avoid that, I recommend you to research and try different styles, techniques, or aesthetics. These new styles you can apply to your existing one or experiment with new one. Maybe you will find a new style or visual aesthetic that is more fun for you. Also, many beginner designers tend to think that as more elements appear on the design, it will look better. But that's not the case. Usually it's better to keep things simple in your design. It will make it look cleaner and more professional overall. Of course, there are some exceptions depending on the design you are working on. So for example, if you are working with maximalist, you can add as many elements as you want, as much as the design looks cohesive. Next one, when I see amateur or beginner design projects, all of these works have one common thing, is the misuse of color. By creating mismatched color palettes, too many bright elements, or overall having like 10 different colors in one design project. This makes your design look unprofessional and overall chaotic. To avoid that, it's really easy, as you can create a color palette for your design project, sticking to 4 to 5 colors, and this will make your design look more professional. Also, if you are having trouble to create your own color palettes, you can learn more about color theory, the different color combinations you can do following the color wheel. Or another tip, if you are struggling to create your own color palettes, is to use color palette generators like Adobe Color or Colors to help you create a color palette for your design. Another tip to make your designs look professional really easy is to apply contrast. Many graphic design beginners do not know how to use or the importance of using contrast in your designs. So many amateur posters, you will see that their lack of contrast, making all the elements of the design look similar and lacking of visual interest. To avoid that, you can apply contrast easily. For example, you can use color contrast to make the background darker and the focal point of your design with a more bright color. Also, you can apply size contrast by making the most important design element in your composition the biggest one. Last tip will be to keep learning things. Keep getting inspired, keep looking at graphic design inspiration, keep looking at Pinterest, Behance, Instagram, TikTok for new visual styles, new techniques, and in general, new tricks, new techniques, and apply them into your own designs. For example, you can go to Pinterest, browse different posters, and select the one that catch your attention and try to replicate it by yourself. This way you will ensure that your graphic design skills are always evolving and avoid getting stuck. This is very important because graphic design is always evolving, and if you are not evolving with it, you might be stuck in the past, making your designs feel outdated very easily. These are my 10 pro tips that will make your designs look professional by just applying them. Also, if you would like a second part with more tips and insights, please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and please give me a like, subscribe. Also, please let me know in the comments which tip is the best for you, and subscribe for more graphic design inspiration, tutorials, and graphic design theory. See you in the next video. Ciao!